did you happen to take any special lessons? Did you get any special one-on-one tutoring before going to Malaysia? Studying 수능 or 내신 doesn't really help you to get used to real English in real situation. Not at all.
Not all. My parents told me like 2 months before we have to go to Malaysia.
Just 2 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
So because they were keep thinking about leaving me in Korea. They just told me when they decided. That's just like 2 months before.
Okay.
So I couldn't really prepare. I tried to prepare for like 1 month, but then they couldn't really help. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure your parents must have been worried about your English before going to Malaysia.
Yes.
Then did either of them set any like certain rules to set you up for getting familiar with new situation where you have to speak in English? Like for example, from this moment you shouldn't speak in Korean but only in English. I mean those kinds of rules.
Like in family?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have that kind of.
Okay.
Well, we didn't make any kind of rules.
Okay.
We just went there.
The original question I put here was, have you struggled with English? But apparently you have. How much have you struggled there, especially in the early stage, in the beginning stage of Malaysia?
I have a lot of struggles.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't speak at all.
Uh-huh.
I got really stressed
Uh-huh.
when I attended the school.
Uh-huh.
For like two to 3 months. When I came back from the school, I almost passed out. I just like slept 4 to 5 hours straight because I was so stressful. So and then I woke up and then I do the assignments. And then I have that kind of life for like 2 to 3 months. I tried to my best in all the assignments, and then it kind of improved my English.
Okay.
Just by following the assignments.
Okay. So did you have anyone around here who was in the similar situation? I mean, who came to Malaysia with poor English skills and just tried very hard to get used to it? Or was it only you?
I think it was only me. You transfer to foreign countries, I think it's really rare. Usually they come to Malaysia when they were like a middle school. Or you can have at least like 5 years of studying English. I only had like 2 years. My case is not that often.
Okay. Did you have any Korean friends there when you got there?
Well, there were a lot of Koreans.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of Koreans went to Malaysia for studying English. There were like 50 students. Among them, like 15 were Koreans. There were quite many.
Okay, so then when you spend time with Korean friends there, then did you communicate in English or in Korean?
Well, at first I didn't tell this to any of my Korean friends, but when I got there, I made my own rule for myself that
not given by your parents.
Not by my parents, but I made my self rule that I'm not gonna make any Korean friends because I know that I was like in a kind of urgent situation that I have to learn English by making a Korean friend. I think it would be easier way to adapt to a new environment, but then it would be hard to learn English. I decided not to make any Korean friends, but after a year, that rule got ruined. So but then for a year, it made a lot of difference. It benefited me a lot. So yeah.
The next question must be probably the most interesting question for not only viewers but also for me. What things did you try to improve your English skills?
To be really honest, I never studied for speaking.
Okay.
I was always in a situation where I have to use English.
Especially in school.
Yeah, especially in school because I attended international school.
Okay.
I have to think about what I have to say. I have to make a presentation. I have to ask some questions. The total life was like practicing speaking English. I never deliberately like trying to like study for speaking skills. Well, I actually studied for other things like readings and writings, but then
but those are also English contents.
Yeah, there's also in English contents, but that like writing skill and reading skill might transfer to might have contributed to like improving my speaking skills, but I never studied for attending school was already just like keep practicing speaking English.
In fact, I have some friends around me who graduated from international school just like you. And Just out of curiosity, I wonder if you get any punishment or disadvantage in international school if you are caught in speaking in another language. In your case, Korean other than English. Because I guess one of the goals is to make you and train their students to speak in English as much as possible.
They have a policy that we cannot speak Korean or other language in school setting. Even though teachers saw us like using Korean, they just warned us, just like don't use Korean, speak English. Other than that, not really. If you don't work hard, if you don't put in the work, even though you went to international school, there's a high chance that you don't learn how to speak English. It totally depends on you.
Were there any students who got into the international school, but then because they didn't really care about learning English, then they ended up not speaking English very fluently, even after graduation of that school?
There are a lot. There are a lot of students who
Really?
are like that. For my personal opinion, it doesn't matter where you study. If you study, you will get better. Doesn't matter about the settings.
Okay. So, further question: what percentage of students in international school in your school do you think, fail to learn English properly? Just approximately.
Like 15%.
How long did you take to get good at English to the point where you didn't have any problem on communicating with your teachers, with your friends, and people in your community?
It took me about 9 months. After that, I think I could ask any question that I couldn't understand. I could communicate and I could express my opinion without having too much troubles. But don't get me wrong, I'm still not great at English. I have some foreign friends and then I still talk to them time to time. But I still have some problems with like making sentences or trying to express my feelings. I'm gonna have this kind of problem like rest of my life.
Okay.
So I think it's better to accept this fact and then try to live with it.
This question will come up later, but are you still studying for improving your English? You must be very busy.
Not really.
Not
I don't
at
study
all?
for English at all.
Okay.
Because I'm busy studying something else. So.
Okay.
Actually, I took TOEIC like 3 months ago because I have to apply to some hospitals and then they require TOEIC scores. Then I got the results and then the score actually got decreased.
May I ask how high or how low score you got from that test?
I actually prepared for 편입시험.
Okay.
So at that time, my English skill was like really high. At that time, for TOEIC, I got 990.
990?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then after, I took like 3 months ago, I think it got 950.
950 is still very high.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it got decreased.
Okay.
Because I didn't study for it.
He's a doctor. One of the smartest guys in the world. Do you have any advice for those who plan to or about to go to foreign countries around your age in the past, like 18 or 19?
At 17, I think you can go abroad and then still have some chance. But if you're 18 or 19,
Really?
think carefully. Yeah, I somehow got through some obstacles and then other tests, but it was not that easy. It's not just about learning English. When you go to abroad, it's about getting used to a new system that you don't have to take 수능 anymore, but that's a good thing. But you have to take SAT. But that's a different thing. You have to think about going to United States or Canada for university. For that, it's a kind of whole different story. So if you're 18 and 19, you're not ready for going to abroad, I would say don't go.
Frankly speaking, as I told you, this is our first time to speak in English, communicate in English, and now you look smarter than ever before. Because we are dumb in the military, everyone is dumb in the military. This has something to do with the last question. Someone has high confidence or someone has more passion. What factor do you think contributes to better or improvement of speaking English?
You have to study.
Okay.
First thing first, you have to study. You don't just get well at speaking or writing or reading without putting in a work. If there's some factors that might accelerate your learning, is just being comfortable with making mistakes. It was for me too that like I kind of feel nervous. I was kind of feared to make mistakes, so I just don't do it. But then if you don't do it, then there is no chance of learning English. Please be comfortable making mistakes. Even natives, even Americans or Canadians, they are not perfect with English. Okay. Don't be afraid.
It's just like you're not perfect when we speak in Korean.
Yeah.
He touched upon very important points. A lot of students are really kind of obsessed with grammar accuracy or pronunciation. They just try to make everything perfect. But what's going to happen with that mindset is, just like he said, they don't make sentences in the first place, which absolutely stops them from improving their speaking skills.